Oh, it's go time. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Google rents goats to replace lawnmowers at their Mountain View headquarters. When you get blackout drunk, you don't actually forget anything because your brain wasn't recording in the first place. Ancient Babylonians did math in base 60, not base 10, thus giving us 60 seconds in a minute, 360 degrees in a circle, etc. Nintendo has banked so much money that they could run a deficit of $250 million every year and still survive until 2052. Taiwan has become the first country to offer free Wi-Fi to all tourists through over 4,000 hotspots all over the island. In 1962, the CIA tipped off South Africa's intelligence service about the location of Nelson Mandela that led to his arrest that put him in jail for 27 years. In Japan, it's illegal to dance in nightclubs after midnight. Nightclubs are routinely raided by police and undercover agents go in to see if anyone is dancing. Former US President Calvin Coolidge used to enjoy buzzing for his bodyguards and then hiding under his desk as they frantically searched for him. There's a fruit called black sapote or chocolate pudding fruit, which at the right ripeness tastes like chocolate pudding, is low in fat, and has about 4 times as much vitamin C as an orange. This is the world's smallest code lock created by Ganesh Subramaniam in India. It has a height of 3 millimeters, a circumference of 1 centimeter, a weight of 41 milligrams, and has 3 lines of code from 0 to 9. The phrase "the luck of the Irish" did not originally mean extreme good fortune. In fact, it originated as an old miner expression meant to be sarcastic. It was as if to say only by sheer luck as opposed to brains could these fools succeed. In North Korea, citizens are forced to choose from one of 28 government-approved haircuts. It's estimated that there are approximately 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor worth billions in value and treasure. A 7-year-old second grader was suspended for biting a Pop-Tart into the shape of a mountain, which school officials mistook for a gun. In 2013, a company called Limit Zero created a 720-meter international zip line between Spain and Portugal. All of the air in potato chip bags that people complain about isn't air at all. In fact, it's nitrogen, which serves the purpose to keep chips crisp and to provide a cushion during shipping. A German author named Timur Vermes wrote a satirical novel in which Hitler wakes up in modern-day Berlin with no memories since 1945 and becomes a comedian. In 2005, a documentary was filmed called Reversal of Fortune, where filmmakers gave a homeless man named Ted Rodrigue $100,000 in cash and followed him around to see what he would do with the money. Less than 6 months later, he was completely broke and back in the same place he was before the windfall. There is a squirrel whisperer student at Penn State University named Mary Krupa. She has the unique ability to not only attract squirrels, but to put hats and earmuffs on them as well. Army ants are used as nature's sutures. Their jaws are so powerful that natives staple wounds by forcing ants to bite them and breaking off the body. This is a massive bird's nest built on a telephone pole in the Kalahari Desert in southern Africa. It's made of sticks, grass, and cotton and is home to several types of birds. A study conducted by the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2012 concluded that people who appear to be constantly distracted have more working memory and sharper brains. The infinite monkey theorem states that a monkey hitting keys at random on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time will eventually type out any given text, such as the complete works of William Shakespeare. If you don't identify as an extrovert or introvert, you may be an ambivert, which is a person moderately comfortable with groups and social interactions, but also relishes time alone away from crowds. In 2007, a twin was born 34 minutes after her brother, but because of a daylight savings time adjustment was actually born 26 minutes before her brother. In a study to improve hospital design for children, researchers from the University of Sheffield polled 250 children regarding their opinions of clowns. Every single one reported disliking or fearing them. The most expensive thing ever built was the International Space Station at a cost of $160 billion and rising as new sections sessions are added. In a study conducted by the Bay State Medical Center in Springfield, approximately 68% of people experience phantom vibration syndrome, a sensory hallucination where you mistakenly think your phone is buzzing in your pocket. Jack Johnson, the first ever black heavyweight boxing champion, was once pulled over and given a $50 speeding ticket, but gave the officer $100, telling him to keep the change because he was going to make the return trip at the same speed. In 2013, a man named Harrison O'Keefe survived for 3 days at the bottom of the ocean in a sunken ship by finding a pocket of air. In North Korea, it is currently the year 105, not 2015, because their calendar is based around the birth of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea. In 1912, Teddy Roosevelt was shot prior to giving a speech. However, noticing that it missed his lungs since he wasn't coughing up blood, he proceeded to give a 90-minute speech. In Armenia, all children aged 6 and up are taught chess in school as a mandatory part of their curriculum. Schools that ditch schoolyard rules are actually seeing a decrease in bullying, serious injuries, and vandalism, while concentration levels in class are increasing. This is because fewer rules requires critical thinking, whereas simply obeying instructions requires very little critical thinking. Sand from the Sahara is blown by the wind all the way to the Amazon, recharging its minerals. The desert literally fertilizes the rainforest. As a child, Muhammad Ali was refused an autograph from his boxing idol Sugar Ray Robinson. When Ali became a prize fighter, he vowed to never deny an autograph request, which he honored throughout his entire career. President JFK purchased 1,200 Cuban cigars just hours before he ordered the Cuban trade embargo in 1962. In 1976, a Greek war veteran named Stramatis Moratis was diagnosed with cancer and told he only had 6 months to live. He went back to those doctors 10 years later to tell them he was still alive, only to discover that all of the doctors who had diagnosed him were dead. He lived to be 102 years old. An Indiana state prison allows murderers to adopt cats in their cells to help teach them love and compassion for other living things. The Gatling gun was invented by Dr. Richard Gatling, who noticed that the majority of soldiers during the Civil War who died were due to disease, not gunshot wounds. By inventing a machine that could replace hundreds of soldiers, the need for large armies would be reduced, thus diminishing exposure to battle and disease. If New York City was its own country and the NYPD was its army, it would be the 20th best funded army in the world, just behind Greece and ahead of North Korea. A 24-year-old woman named Michelle Chapman was sentenced to 20 months in jail for sending abusive messages to herself from fake profiles that she made for her father and his wife. The WWOOF, or the Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, is an international program that allows you to travel the world with free food and accommodations in exchange for volunteer work. Brass doorknobs automatically disinfect themselves in 8 hours. This is known as the oleodynamic effect. This is what the skeleton of a turtle looks like. In 2014, a man in China bought a first-class ticket on China Eastern Airlines, where he went to the airport and ate free food for almost an entire year in the VIP lounge. Astoundingly, he canceled and rebooked his flight an incredible 300 times over the course of the year, and then canceled his ticket for a full refund once the airline became wise of his scam. Until its demolition in 2012, 1% of Greenland's entire population lived in one apartment building called Block P. German used to be the second most widely spoken language in the United States before it was forcibly repressed during World War I. When developing the Macintosh computer, Steve Jobs wanted to add a small mysterious character that would appear about every 1,000 times you used an OS UI element. It would wink at you and disappear so fast that you would never quite be sure if it was real. In the 1960s, the US did an experiment where 2 people without nuclear training had to design a nuke with only access to publicly available documents, and they succeeded. A little bit scary. And that's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give that like button a click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, click that red subscribe button because I upload every Tuesday and Saturday. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later on my second channel and on my social media. Peace.